Well, hello and good evening. Welcome to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandi, and I just returned. I have been in San Francisco for 5.5 days. I went to see my son and his wife, and we just had a fabulous vacation. So we are talking about vanilla beans tonight. But before I do want to thank the Vineyard Chicks and Survival Seeds 2025 because I won this package of seeds. I'm just so excited that I won it. It literally says 25,000 seeds in there. So I'm going to put that up on my food forest in between the trees and the bushes. And I am just totally excited about that. So thank you very much. And Jesse and Lisa are in, and they actually mailed this to me. So thank you very much. I was so excited when I got back from my trip and they were here. Woo-hoo. So good evening, everybody. And tonight we're talking about vanilla beans. And in just a second, I'll tell you why we're talking about that. But I am going to do some giveaways tonight. I'm going to give 2 different 5-packs of vanilla beans away. And I'm going to give away these cute little, they're bookmarkers. They're magnetic. And so I'm going to give that little package away. It's just a little thing I found. Happy Wednesday to you, Angie. And Cheryl is here. Hello, hello. And Ginger is here. Good evening. So we're going to talk about vanilla beans because my biggest vanilla video that I've had, or actually my biggest video period that I've had is about vanilla beans. And I just get so many questions. And then I had been talking to some people and I thought something's a little off here. And so I started doing some research and I started ordering some vanilla beans, and some of them from companies I usually order from. And then I saw the issue. Angie says, I need some vanilla in my life. Everybody needs some vanilla in their life. Even if you're not going to make vanilla extract, you need some vanilla to do some cooking and baking and adding to things. And Madeline is here. Hello. And Cora is here. Cora, I just watched your video. So we're talking about vanilla beans. Now, when you think about a plant, a vanilla bean actually is an orchid, and it climbs and it produces kind of like a bean. So like, you know how when you're growing string beans in the garden and you have this section and there's all these beans coming down from this one section? That's what a vanilla orchid does. Now, from start to finish, how long does it take to get vanilla beans? If you theoretically, once the plant flowers, and you do have to hand pollinate it, the flowers are only open one day, so you got to be hand pollinating it. From that point to when you actually harvest them, it's 8-9 months. It's a long process. It's like when you're growing bananas. You think that they should just come out there, and after a month or 2, they should be ready. It always takes longer than that. And Juana's here today. Hello, good evening. And Dorothy's here. Good evening, young lady. Yay, just people popping in. And Lynn is here. So exciting. So we have this orchid, and it's really a vine. The vine can be literally 40 feet long. And so if you're going to grow it, could you grow it in the house under lights? Probably. You could grow it on trellises. You could grow it on a lot of things. And Fern is here. Hello. And so from start to finish, once it flowers, 8 or 9 months, right? But even before you get to that point, you got to be growing the plant itself. Now, I've heard a lot of different things. Some people say it takes 5 years before you can actually get some vanilla beans. But you can buy little sections of the vanilla bean plant, the orchid, and root it and plant it. and it'd be a little bit faster. You can buy little tiny plants that are already rooted. Actually, I ordered one. It's going to be here this month because they grow in zone 10 and 11. Now, if you had a place inside that it would have a lot of good light, a lot of heat and humidity, I think you could grow it inside. And so I'm actually going to try to grow it right by where my bananas are. I mean, I'm a zone 10, 11, depending on who you talk to. I am not as moist as some places, though. But because of where I'm going to plant it and the amount of water it gets right there, I think I can give it a shot. I really think I can. So you pollinate it. It grows for about the fertilization and the growth takes about 6 weeks. Okay. But you don't harvest that for several months after that. But when it's ready to harvest, they're green, they're long, they're plump, and you're going to harvest them. Now, are they ready? Do they smell like vanilla right now? No. No, they don't at all. And BP, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Going to just be listening tonight since I'm driving. Was at the vet appointment. Oh, I hope everything was good at the vet. So what do they do once they have these green beans? So what will I have to do when I'm growing my own? They all get picked off. So they're green. They're anywhere from 4 inches to 9 inches that the farm workers are picking, right? And they literally plunge them into steaming hot water, which is just crazy. But what it does is it stops the ripening process. Then you're not done yet. You don't just get to take them out. No, then you have to dry them. You have to do a process to dry them. Now, some people have what they call sweat boxes. Some people lay them on blankets. Some people put them just in the sun. Because what you want it to do is the moisture content, what you want to get for a grade A vanilla bean is basically about 30%. A grade B vanilla bean probably has about 12 to 15%. It's a lot harder, more leathery. It's great for making extract, though. So people ask me, do I use grade A or grade B? Actually, if you're just making your vanilla with your alcohol, you could use either one. A lot of times the B is a cheaper price. So let's just say good evening to a couple people. And hello, Nancy. Hello, how are you? Dana and Andrew, hello. I'm giving vanilla beans away tonight. Madeline says, we have a greenhouse in Addison, Illinois. Henserman's orchids that have vanilla plants. It's about 20 feet tall with beans on, or the last time I was there. They do. They look exactly like green beans. That's what they'll remind you of. But while they're laying in the sun or in the sweat boxes, some people use racks, they use ovens. They turn brown, they start to shrivel because it has to get part of that moisture out of there. But that whole process is what changes it from just this bean-looking thing to that wonderful aromatic flavor that you want. And it is just, it's a process. I'm just scrolling down. I don't want to, Carol Crane is here. Hello. I don't want to miss anybody. And Jesse. Jesse says, don't be a bum like me. Hit that thumbs up. Jesse, you're so fun. Okay, so after it dries, we're talking about almost 9 months for this whole process to happen. Then those companies sell the vanilla beans all over the world. Now, across the bottom of the screen, it actually tells you a little information. The vanilla planifolia, that might not be quite how you pronounce it. Those are Madagascar beans, Hawaiian vanilla beans, Mexican vanilla beans, and Indonesian vanilla beans. Now, you might think because of the same kind of plant, and in fact, I should tell you, every single vanilla plant comes from that original plant, that plant. Now, people cross-pollinate, they do different things, the soil changes things, the sun, the moisture, things change because it'll give it a little bit different flavors. And I saw Glenda in here. Hello, Glenda. How are you? Thank you very much for that, too. So when they go to grade, that's what they call it, grading a vanilla bean, so that they can sell them. And they grade them as grade A, which is a gourmet or a premium vanilla bean. It should be at least 6 inches long or to about 9 inches long. And it's about 30% moisture. It should be very pliable, actually kind of oily. So sometimes when you make vanilla bean extract, there's kind of an oily film on part of it in the alcohol. That's okay. Other thing that you might find is that sometimes it kind of crystallizes. It's got these little tiny dots of stuff in there. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, you wouldn't want mold, but definitely nothing wrong with those little crystals. Totally perfect to use. Cora says, vanilla extract makes cookie dough smell so good. It does. And you know, Cora, 100 years ago, a lot of women couldn't afford perfumes. And so they put a little dab of vanilla behind their ears. It smells so good. And Jeannie's here. Hello, Jeannie. How are ya? There is a lot of different places that grow vanilla beans anymore. In fact, in Florida, there are some places that are growing vanilla beans. You have to have that zone 10 to 11. It can't be cold. Angie says that she loves it. She loves that vanilla extract for perfume. Me too. You know, you can put it behind your ears. You can put it right there on your wrist. It's just fabulous. Jessie says crystals are a girl's best friend. Oh my gosh. So we got this grade A, right? 6 to 9 inches long. It's very pliable. It should be brown. It should be shiny. It should be bendable. And I'll show you some of them in just a minute. Now, grade B is drier. It's sometimes, I don't want to say brittle because you don't really want it brittle, but it's not as pliable. It has only 12 to 15% moisture content in there, but it does make the flavor stronger. And so that's why a lot of people use grade B for vanilla bean, for vanilla extract. I like vanilla, not that I haven't used B, but I actually like grade A better. I talked to a gal one day that her job had been to grade vanilla beans. And I asked her, what is the best vanilla bean to buy? You know, because there's lots of companies and they have them from a lot of different places. And she said, without a doubt, Madagascar grade A beans. And I said, okay. And I have not changed since then. So, is there a certain alcohol that we can use to make vanilla, or it doesn't matter? Well, I like to use vodka and I've used spiced rum before, but people try it with a lot of different alcohols. It does have to be 40 proof for sure. So I guess that's 80 proof, 40%. I think that's the way it goes. Or higher. And so, you know, the alcohol, you can get vodka and it doesn't cost very much. And why not? And Patty's here. Hi, Patty. How are you? Nancy says, homemade vanilla is the best. I'm still waiting for mine to be ready to use. Awesome. Anne thinks Madagascar has the best also. So, I mean, people tend to like what they like. Some people think that Mexican is the best. Mexican vanilla beans are the best. In Mexico, they do have a bee that actually pollinates for them. So if they have enough of those bees, they don't have to hand pollinate where other places do. Glenda says that she used bourbon to make vanilla. I mean, people use a lot of different kinds. And it'll just give you a little bit different flavor. It's not right or wrong. Jesse says OP vodka works the best. People will decide what they want. You know, I just prefer the vodka. Joe liked the spice rum vanilla better because we did these taste tests and I didn't tell him which one was which. And I made pudding, I made hot chocolate, I made all these different things that would have the vanilla in. And over and over again, he picked the spice rum. So it's just choices. Angie says, Juan, I like buying liquor shooters and put a bean in each. Then you can try different kinds on a budget. Oh, see, that is a great idea. I mean, totally a great idea. So, BP says, I have vanilla beans from Cook Islands. See, they're growing them more and more and more. And so that's interesting. And you just have to really decide what you want. Now, do they have a little bit different flavors? They do. Like, I think the Madagascar is very rich. It's very creamy. It's this all around great flavor, right? A Mexican is very bold. It's sometimes darker, and it almost has kind of a smoky flavor to it. So that's a little bit different. Indian almost has a chocolate flavor to it. And then if you want like a cherry chocolate, it's Tahitian vanilla that will have that. Earthy, the Tonga vanilla, which I have not tried. When I looked it up, it said earthy, fig, and raisin kind of flavor to it. That was interesting to me. I'm not sure I want that, but it's very interesting, and it would be worth a try with a little bottle. Now, when you buy vanilla, you'll get it a couple different ways. Now, do they have it in the grocery store? Yes, it's a little tube. But sometimes they want like $14 for that one little vanilla bean, and it's not very moist. And I think it's just because it's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. How long does it last? If you got it, because sometimes they send it in a tube, that would last, and the moisture would stay good for about 3 or 4 months. Vacuum sealed very well. If you didn't open it, it would stay 8 months to a year. Can they get a little dry sometimes? A vanilla bean that you found in your cupboard, you can soak them in warm water for a few hours, and that will help. And some people actually soak them in milk. So that's interesting to me. How long do you keep vanilla beans in sugar? Now, like when I'm done with a jar of vanilla and I got those beans left in there, I dry them a little bit, and then I put them in some sugar. And you can literally just leave them in your sugar, but it will take you a month or so, and it will give you the sugar just such a beautiful, wonderful vanilla sugar flavor, which is great for cookies and different things. And so, I mean, don't waste it at all. I've literally dried it all the way, ground it up, and used that ground powder when it called for vanilla. I don't want to waste any of it. I it's a little spendy, and I just don't want to waste it. And so, I mean, it's choices that people make. But before we go any farther, let's give some away. So I'm going to type that little code, and you do have to live in the continental United States, and all you have to done is just put a comment in there and they might pick it. If I don't have your address, just let me know. You can send me an email and with your physical address and I'll send it to you. And you're going to win 5 vanilla beans. Oh, the chat is going fast. Carol says, a few years ago, a friend of mine gave me a bottle of Tahitian vanilla extract. When I looked it up and saw the price, I almost fainted. It can be spendy. That's true. And the winner is, wait. Jesse and Lisa. I have your address. So you're going to win 5 vanilla beans. If you don't have, once you open it, if you don't have, I better write Jesse down here because I don't want to forget. Jesse and Lisa. What are you going to do once you open that container or that where they've vacuum sealed it? If you don't have a vacuum sealer, you can cover your vanilla beans with some wax paper and then or some saran wrap. Don't put it in the refrigerator. It's not good for it and it can actually lose more moisture that way. If you put it in like an airtight container, a Tupperware container, those ones that burp and it takes most of the air out, really probably about every month, you should actually open that up and just mix them around, let them have the air and moisture that's in the air for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then just seal it back up again. If it's vacuum sealed, you don't really have to worry about that because it will be just so good. Now, the issue that I found, because I had a couple people that said, I did everything you said on how to do it, but it doesn't really have a strong vanilla flavor. And I thought, why is that? So I started ordering vanilla beans from places. All of them were Madagascar. All of them were grade A so that I could test it. And what I found is I got these. Now, that's not bad, but that's only about 4.5, 5 inches long. I don't see how they're grading them as grade A, because grade A vanilla beans should really be 6 inches to 9 inches. So I ordered them from the company that I order most of my vanilla beans from. Look at the size of those compared to these. These are about 8.5, 9 inches long. I'm going to grab one. I want you to see the comparison. So I'm just going to grab one of these. And I don't want to rat on those companies, but I'm a little disappointed because they're charging basically the same amount that they did before, but the vanilla beans are getting smaller. I don't like that. Look at the difference in those. Let's go this way. So, I mean, every single time I used to buy them, they were always like this, 8, 9 inches long, always. And I understand more and more people want to buy vanilla beans, so they're just like rushing that whole process. But that's a big difference. And this cost me basically $1 a piece. And I do buy quite a bit, so I get a better deal. And these cost me about $1 a piece. I'm not liking that. So if you would do my recipe that I let sit for a couple years, it's not going to be as strong because this vanilla bean is not as big. I mean, that is crazy. That's not a little bit of difference. That's a lot of difference. And are both of them pliable? Both of them have a little bit of oil on there, but these are short. So they're like half the size almost. It's like you'd have to use twice as much as what I usually use. I don't like it. And I mean, it's like buying cereal and the box is the same size, but it's less and less and less cereal in there. But I want a vanilla bean that's big and plump. And when I cut it in half and scoop out, I'm getting all kinds of vanilla bean seeds because I want to have a great, great vanilla bean. So the winners tonight are actually getting ones like this. They'll be vacuum sealed. They'll be long. So you can just use them and use them and use them. Jesse and Lisa were our first winners on that. So I'm going to put those back in the Ziploc bag. And I'm actually going to, this one, my great big bag, I'm going to vacuum seal tomorrow because I'm going to take that back to Wyoming. But I'm just a little disappointed, I guess I have to say. I think, yeah, isn't it? It's a big difference. It's not a little difference. And I don't know. I know things cost more all the time. And I don't know. I was just like, when I started getting these in the mail from different companies, because you can buy a couple of vanilla beans, or you can buy 5, or you can buy 10 from a lot of different companies. I was really disappointed. And it was like the package that they came in was still just as long, but there was all this this space that didn't have no vanilla in there. Good evening. How many beans are produced from one plant when grown? Well, from what I've seen, I mean, it just becomes like the vine can be 40 feet long. And so it can just be clusters and clusters and clusters. It would just depend on the plant. But a lot of vanilla beans, not just a few, a lot of vanilla beans on those. And a lot of the farms that I've seen, they have trellises up and trellises across, and they just let the vines just grow. Some places grow them on trees. I think that might be a little more difficult to harvest is all. Dorothy says, I suspect those should stay on the plant longer. Well, that's my thinking too. They want to have that continuous cell, and so they're picking them earlier than they would otherwise. They're not letting them get to that long, beautiful size, and it just makes a difference. Cora wants to know the colors of the beans. When they're first on the plant, when they're harvesting, they're green, just like a green bean is. Pretty much the same color, only it can be fatter though. But after they plunge them into that steaming hot water, and then they go through the drying process, they turn brown. They get a little wrinkled. If you get a grade B, sometimes you'll have some bruising or scarring or cuts in there. They're just probably not as good. There's a lot of Jesse's putting up a link. I'm just popping it over. The process of vanilla farming in Madagascar, the biggest production country. And so that will give you to check out. I also have a vanilla bean video. 2.5 million people have watched it. And have I made vanilla faster by putting more beans in? I have. I've tried all kinds of things that people ask me to try. But I just think you have to, when you're buying them, I think you need to look and see how many inches they're actually saying that they are. If they're telling you they're 6 or 7 inches and you're only getting beans that are 4 or 5, I'd be writing to the company. I'm a little upset about it. Can you tell? Let's give my bookmarks. They're magnets. They have patchworks and thimbles and sewing machines. They're very girly. They were just something cute I found in the store. So let's give those away. So I'm going to type, and we're still going to give one more vanilla away. Oh, thanks, Jesse. He put up my links of mine. Carol, they're just so cute. I just absolutely love them. Oh, Patty, the Tinker's wife, you are the winner. So I will mail those out to you tomorrow. So let me write that down. And Patty, I do have your address. Okay. Yay. Now, how can you use your vanilla beans? I mean, people make extract out of it. They add it to drinks, both alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks. They make vanilla bean sugar. They add it to just so many different things, cakes and pies. And I've added, even when I've done meats, adding my vanilla to that, just because it can give it just such a fabulous, fabulous flavor. And I don't want to sound like I'm ditching those companies. So that's why I took them out of the packages. I wasn't going to show you what they were, but our winners are going to win the great big long ones. So let me put that up. See how beautiful those are? The more vanilla beans you buy at one time, the better price you get. But not everybody wants 100 vanilla beans, right? Juan asks, are there any rare vanilla beans? Well, Juan, I don't know if I could say that there are. All vanilla bean plants actually come from that original vanilla bean. And now they have a couple other species. No, it's not species. It's hybrids is more the word for them. Because they've crossed, and no matter what plant you grow, your soil is different. Your weather is different. The amount of water and the water itself is different. And it can always give it a little teeny bit of change. And so if you're farming vanilla bean, vanilla plants, vanilla orchids, they will all change a little teeny bit. Even throughout Madagascar on the different farms, it could be slight changes. I think most people would not even be able to tell the difference. Most people just love that vanilla flavor, that smell, which I do love. And the company that I actually get these from, I am actually working with them. I had worked with a different company, and I just didn't like how it was working out. So this company that I'm working with, I'm actually going to be able to package up and sell under Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. So look for that in April. So that'll be kind of fun. So let's give the last vanilla bean away, because I'm past my 30 minutes. And I like to keep it at 30 minutes. And so let's see who our last winner is. And remember, if I don't have your address, I'll put my email up, and you can mail that to me, and I can mail them in the morning to you. Okay, I'll just go over to the post office. So let's pick a winner. Nightbot is going to pick a winner, and we will see who it is. Fingers are crossed. The winner is Nightbot's thinking. Look at that. Jesse and Lisa, you won again. Jesse and Lisa get 10 vanilla beans now. Woo-hoo-hoo. That is so exciting. So congratulations, Jesse and Lisa. Thank you for that. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, sometimes people come on and they just, it's just not, maybe that will do that. Okay. But everybody, congratulations. Oh, look at that. Jesse's saying to please redraw and let somebody else get it. That is so kind of him. Okay, so let's see. We will do it one more time. Who is going to be our winner, Nightbot? Thank you, Jesse, for that. Oh, and Troy Sutton's here. Hello, how are ya? Troy, we're just seeing who our next winner of the vanilla beans is going to be. Glenda, you are the winner. Bam. So I'm going to cross Jesse and Lisa off of that. And Glenda, I'm sure I have your address. So 3 winners tonight. I hope you got some information on vanilla beans and actually I'll do a video when the plant comes, and then I'll just update it as it goes, because even in the summertime when we're gone, it's going to be in a watered where it gets irrigated. So it should be just fine while we're gone. And we will just see how it grows in Yuma, Arizona. So everyone, have a great night. I had a great time in San Francisco. I just got back last night. Got to see my son and his wife, and they took me all over the place. I'll have a video on all the fun things that we did. I will see you.